to know. And what we're going to be talking about today is the IT consulting and services template from Wix.com. You don't have to be in IT to really take advantage of this template. Just like any template, your job is to customize and make it your own. This website template is excellent for anybody who has a service that is a little more complicated and a little more detailed. And this is a multi-page website that's actually very clean and yet allows for the detail of services that you can provide and explain to your clients. Okay, I was just checking the audio right there. So once again, thank you for joining me here. Let's talk about the IT consulting and services template from Wix.com. Let's get started. Hello, if you are new to the channel, my name is Michael Wood. I am the owner and Wix Certified Trainer with Captivatim, Multimedia, and Web Design. And we're going to be talking about the IT consulting and services template from Wix.com. It doesn't matter if you use Wix or not. These are great web design principles you can apply no matter what service you're using. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and take a preview of the site and just show you what it looks like in a live session, and I just want to give you my thoughts. After we do a quick tour of the site, I will show you some ways you can customize the template for your own service. If we look at the top right here, it's very clean. That's one of the great things about this design. It's what we call flat and clean design. You're not going to see a lot of 3D buttons, things like that. Now what's good about flat design is it does have a clean appearance. It also translates very well with mobile devices. So if I go ahead and scroll through here, it starts off with a very colorful photo. You can use any of these stock images. You don't necessarily have to have your own image here. There are places where you want to have authentic images of your services or your staff. And there are other times it's okay to go ahead and use stock images. For this particular site, using a beautiful photograph for your cover is probably your best option. If you happen to have a window office that overlooks the city, then by all means use an authentic photo. So here we have the main title, and the call to action on this homepage is find out more. And as you can see, it stands out very clearly with that red accent. You only see red in the highlight of the page that we're on and in the call to action. So it's very clear. And if you want to find out more, that's going to take you to the list of services. So in this web design, they believe that if you can look at the services they're providing, that might equal a conversion that the client will go ahead and call, because they realize that these are the types of services they need. Now, if you happen to be an IT or informational technology company, then having a clean website is two things. Number one, it's a big challenge because there are so many things and very complex things an IT department or IT company can actually provide. And the other thing is your website needs to look great. It needs to look clean and polished if you're IT, because that shows your expertise. If your design looks like it was made 10 years ago, it's easy for people to make a judgment about your ability as an IT company. So you really want to be cutting edge, but you don't want to be cluttered. this website does a good job of being clean, neat, and yet provides lots of details. So if I scroll down, you have the main paragraph about sort of the main clients that you serve. That's what I would put in the first paragraph. You know, whether it's entrepreneurs, big businesses, small businesses, or independent small business owners. You want to make that very clear on the first page. We scroll down, and this is the highlight of the website, and that's the Our Services tab. And there are 6, if I scroll down, looks like, there's 6 different services. You might provide more, but you'll have a chance to explain in detail. If you do provide many more services, I suggest you go ahead and break those down into 6 major categories. And so here are 6, and they already gave you some ideas. There's cloud solutions, managed IT services, disaster recovery, cloud desktop, network solutions, and support consulting. Those are the major areas of any IT company wanting to reach out and find more clients. There's also testimonials, and credibility as an IT company is really important. So you definitely want to have testimonials from people that matter. You don't want to be making up fake names or anything like that. You want to have authentic companies. Now, if you are a local technology company, let's say you are in Southern California and you serve the Los Angeles areas, then pick out testimonials that speak to your local area. Everybody knows who the big players are, and they're part of town. So if you work with any of them, you want to make sure you include those in your testimonials. It has a navigation arrow left and right, and it's got this scrolling and fade effect that's built in. You also notice as I scroll up and down, I won't do it too fast, you notice over here on the right is the social media bar. You notice when I move up and down, the social media bar does not move. And that's a great way to just have that persistent link to those social media channels that you're maintaining. And of course, at the bottom, it says ready to find out more, and you can get a free evaluation, which is another call to action. That leads the client to the contact us page where they can type in a message and send. You might say, why not just put your email? Well, a lot of times it's easier for people to go ahead and type their message, send it through your page, because number one, they don't have to leave your website to communicate with you. Number two, they don't have to rely on their email provider to send that message to you. And also it allows you to collect all of the messages in a central location that you can access on the Wix backend. It also does have the email in case you want to provide that, and the telephone number and the address, and of course the credits. There's also an arrow down here at the bottom, and there's no words next to it, but it implies that if they click on this arrow, it will bounce them back all the way to the top. That's really handy when dealing with mobile devices and iPads where they don't have to keep scrolling their finger up the screen to get back to the top menu. They just click that arrow and it springs right up to the top. How do you guys like this template? That's just the home page. I just want to see any reactions out there. If you like it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or a heart, or if you're on YouTube, drop me a comment. I'm curious to see what part of this website you really enjoy. All right, let's go ahead and continue moving through. At the top is a menu navigation. Why choose us? Let's click on that link. And did you see that animation that went across the screen? Let me go to home. And the home page has it as well. Why choose us? And this really cool scrolling effect that does call the attention to their eye. And they focus now on your words. And why choose them? Well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons. I also want you to notice that those reasons faded in as we scroll down. So I'm going back here. Let's go down. Watch the fade. Okay, see that text fade in? Okay, so that's a really nice effect. And it's also, again, very clean. Let's go to the top. Our services. And here it takes us to those 6 panels we saw. In fact, it took us to the home page. So instead of recreating these squares, it's good to navigate to the place on your website where this content is already existing. So if you have it on your home page, you don't need to make another page with the same 6 blocks. Number one, if you have any changes to the text or copy, you would have to change it twice. The other thing is it keeps the code on your site much cleaner because you don't have all that extra code from having duplicate content, and that of course will help with your load page rates. So again, it goes to the services right there. Now, why would you have the link up here at the top menu, but it's also on your home page? Why don't they just scroll down? Well, because people will be approaching your website from different devices, and people think differently. Some people, if they go to the home page, they're right here. They just want to know what you're about, and they could just click on our services, and it'll bounce right over there. The other reason why you want that in your top navigation is because if I'm on a different page, like Why Choose Us, and now they want to know about your services, if you don't have it listed, they won't know how to get to those services other than going to your homepage. But unless they memorized your website or had a map to it that they're going to refer to, which is completely unrealistic, they're just going to click on our services, which will take them to the home page. All right, now then there's the industries page, and this is a different page. And this talks about the different industries that you serve. This has a nice parallax scrolling effect. You'll see as I move down. It's as if the city is just in a different layer behind the website. So it gives a wonderful clean effect to your site. And it's a nice splash of color while the rest of the site remains very clean. As I scroll down, you could describe the different industries that you service. Let me go back up here, and if I click on Contact Us, that will go ahead and jump down to the footer. But I want you to notice, instead of just sort of jumping over there, there was a fade. So let's go to Industries. I want you to see this. When I click on Contact Us, watch the fade. Okay, I don't know if we saw it that time. Why Choose Us? Contact Us. See, there we go. There was a nice fade that went over to the footer. So, and yes, this is the footer, so it's not the same content being duplicated on every page. The content is there one time, and it persists across the pages. Keeps your code a lot cleaner, and it's much easier to update should you make any changes. Building websites page by page, it can be done. It's kind of forcing the issue, but as you could see, it's labor intensive to make any kind of changes. You want to be efficient with your web design and only have the content there one time, and then have multiple ways to get to that content. And that's really the art of making a good user experience. All right, let's get under the hood. Before I do that, I'm just going to look at my other monitor here, see if there's any comments or questions at this time. Okay, if you like this so far, give me a like, give me a happy face, a heart. Let me know what you think about this website so far. And if you have any questions, feel free to write those down. If you're watching the replay, you can still react and leave comments, and I will actually receive them. Let's go ahead and jump into the editor now. It's going to ask us to save our work. Okay, let's go into the editor. And let me just show you some quick ways to customize this site. First of all, the strip background. So this home page is built using a strip. This box, and we talked about this last week, is a box that's overlapping two strips. So here's strip number 1 with the photo. Strip number 2 is a band of white. And on top of that is the square. Okay, so that's the basic layout. And then this is actual a button that can take the user wherever you want them to go. On this strip, all you need to do, there are two columns. One is plain white, and the other one is the image. So it's an interesting design choice. We could have the image stretch all the way across from left to right, but leaving this white space does give not only a feeling of cleanliness, but it also gives sort of a flow as the color white flows and spills into the bottom strip. It's almost like taking your eye naturally across the screen and then down. So this has two columns. This column should be the same color as the strip underneath it. Let's look at the image right here. All I'm going to do is manage columns. Actually, let's see. We want to click on the correct thing here. And what I want to do is, here it is, I want to change the column background. You might need to click around a little bit till you find it. So if I go to change the background, we can change this to whatever matches your the imagery for your services. Obviously, if you're not IT, you'll want to pick something that's more appropriate. Keep in mind, you can also include video instead of an image. So there's some free videos. I'm just scrolling through right here. Let's pick this video. You won't see the video unless we do a preview. So here we have kind of this slow-moving slideshow. You could see it there. Now you notice you may not see it very well. That's because there is a filter. So I'm going to manage this, go to settings. There is a color filter on top. So if I take out the filter, do a preview, you can see a little bit better as the city just kind of translates and fades into the background. So if you want to call more attention to your images, you can just go ahead and change that to a video. As I scroll down, this is text that you can just simply click on and change the text. Okay. And this also is text. Just click on the text and change the text. Now, one thing I didn't talk about is the level of detail on this site. Let's go back to the preview. And when I click on Our Services, remember these 6 boxes? Well, if you click on Learn More, like disaster recovery, there is a page that talks about disaster recovery. So you can go in as much detail as you want. You could even have pricing or whatever you want to do. More testimonials, maybe video examples. You could build out the disaster recovery page, and you really should, sort of creating a click funnel, if you will, showing testimonials and data and everything they need to know without cluttering your website. You notice disaster recovery is not on our menu navigation, and that decision is to keep things clean. If they go to Our Services, that's where they can click on the other services that you provide. Okay, so I just want to point that out, because when we go to Customize, when you click on Learn More, and which is a text button, you click on this link right here, and you could change where it goes. In this case, you would select the disaster recovery page. So when you make the buttons, just like any button, you have to build the content first. So when you build the disaster recovery page, it will be listed in this drop-down menu where you can then tell the button, hey, this is where I want you to go when someone clicks on it. You could change the buttons too. If you don't like the text button, that's no problem. You can go in there, click on the design, and we could just change it to a button. If you like buttons more than text, that's fine. The text is they're just trying to keep the design clean, but you can customize all the different colors and shapes and sizes that you want. If you want to know more about the types of design changes you should be making, make sure you check out more detail at the Webmaster Academy. Check out the Class 201, which talks exclusively about web design, color palettes, and things of that nature. Okay, let's scroll down. You have the testimonials. These are text, and this is actually a slideshow. So I can go into these slides. Let's manage the slides. There's 3 slides. Each has a different testimonial on it. I can duplicate that. So now there's 4 testimonials. You can move the testimonials around. As you can see, you could change the order, and I could delete them as well. So this is the Manage Slide menu. All you need to do is say Manage Slides. You can change the slide background for each slide. So if you wanted a different color for some reason, for each of the different ones, you would just go to Manage Slides, click on the slide, and then change the slide background. So let's change this to red. No, that doesn't look great. Let's change it to orange. And as you can see, let's do a preview. You can change each slide background individually if you wanted to call attention to each of the different testimonials. Now, I recommend you stay within the color palette that you've decided for your website. All right, ready to find out more? Okay, so then you have this get a free evaluation. Let's click on preview and see what this does. So this creates a light box. You know it's a light box. It's got this big X here in the corner, and this is where they can go ahead and put in their information. What's nice about that is the Contact Us has a similar form right there, but the Get a Free Evaluation asks a few more questions, and it allows them to give more contact information so you could follow up with them. That's also big and centered on their screen, which works great for mobile devices. Remember, modern websites, we always think about the mobile version when making these designs. So that's really the best part of customizing this site. I showed you how to do the different strips and how to change out the buttons. That's pretty much what this site is. Now, if you don't like the blue and white, pick the colors that are going to work for your organization. So if I can change this strip background, I'm going to select color, and you notice this is the color palette. It's white. This is the one in the middle is the palette. So gray, red, purple, blue, and orange. Or this could be white or black or gray. And then the palette will just expand out the different shades. If those aren't your company colors, then you go to select change, and you can change the pre-selected palettes, or you can go in and change each of them on your own. I do a whole lesson on palettes and how to change your website palettes in the 201 design course if you want more details on that. So again, what are the advantages of this site? It's nice and clean with the ability to create very detailed pages on your particular services. So that is the IT consulting and services template from Wix.com. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the comment. Other than that, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what kind of templates you're interested in. I do like to showcase the newest templates from Wix.com, but let me know what kind of templates you want me to talk about in the comments. I have links to the Webmaster Academy in the comments if you want to know more about how to learn how to create websites from concept to automation at the Webmaster Academy. Thank you guys for joining me for this live session. I hope you enjoy it, and be sure to share it with somebody who you think can benefit from learning how to use these various templates. Thanks for your time, guys, and we will see you again next time at the Webmaster Academy. Bye-bye.